Welcome to Healthy Births, Happy Babies, where we share tips, tools, and stories grounded in natural childbirth and parenting principles, so that instead of feeling overwhelmed and confused during this exciting time in your life, you feel safe, supported, and empowered in your childbirth and parenting journey. And now, here's your host, Dr. Jay Warren.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Healthy Births, Happy Babies. I'm Dr. Jay Warren. I'm a prenatal and pediatric care chiropractor here at the CAP Wellness Center. And on today's episode, we have Dr. Vivian Keeler here with us. She is the vice president of the HypnoBirthing Institute and teaches hypnobirthing all over the world. She's been a chiropractor for over 30 years. She's a doula, and she's going to be teaching us about the benefits of hypnobirthing. And after hearing how powerful and how peaceful your birth can be, you'll understand why we so highly recommend our moms that we work with here at the CAP Wellness Center to take hypnobirthing and to use it in their births. But before I bring her on and have our conversation about hypnobirthing, as always, let me take a moment to have a word from our sponsor, the CAP Wellness Center. Hi, it's Dr. Jay, and one of the things I love about working at the CAP Wellness Center is being able to play a role in bringing a baby into the world that much more safely, much more naturally, and much more healthy. You know, it's something that is an amazing gift to give a child, to have them start off their life healthy without the stress and the trauma that can all too often be a part of the birth experience. So I consider it an honor to work with pregnant women to help them with that time during their pregnancy. And it is a privilege to be able to work with infants and help correct any distortions that might have happened through the birth process and allow them to start off their life healthy in alignment and in balance, so that a health challenge doesn't hold them back from being all that they can be in this world. All right, now let me introduce to you Dr. Vivian Keeler. Dr. Keeler has been devoting most of her adult life to the care and education of women and their families. She's been a chiropractic physician since 1986 with a special focus on the health of pregnant women. She is a natural birth expert who has attended more than 800 births as a doula and has taught hypnobirthing for the last 15 years. She's also a certified hypnotist. Dr. Vivian is vice president and faculty member of the HypnoBirthing Institute and has received the HypnoBirthing Institute's Diamond Award for her contributions to the advancement of hypnobirthing. She has shared her expertise through many speaking engagements, articles, and interviews, and is responsible for co-creating several training programs that have inspired many birth professionals to become agents of change in their own communities. She is the mother of 2 amazing daughters who were birthed naturally at home, and she resides in Hollywood, Florida with her husband, Tim. And now let me switch over to my conversation with Dr. Vivian Keeler. All right, Dr. Vivian, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dr. Jay. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, I'm excited to have you. I'm a very big fan of hypnobirthing myself. I would love for you to dive in and share more about what that is, and for our listeners to really use it or to learn how they could use it as a tool in their birth. But before we get into that, I read your bio. You know, you've been doing amazing things for so long. You've been a chiropractor for 30 years, and now really diving into the birth world as well with your work. Tell me more about how that came about, going from, practicing exclusively maybe as a chiropractor and then moving into the birth world.
Sure. Well, as a young chiropractor taking care of, families, when it came time for me to have my own children, I wanted to have a natural birth, and I did. I had 2 fabulous birth experiences at home, and really those 2 days were the best 2 days of my life, and I just felt so joyful and empowered by my birth experiences that I couldn't stop talking about it. And as I was speaking with my own patients and other women, I realized that most of them were not coming away from their births feeling joyful and powerful. In fact, many of them were, disappointed or confused about what had happened, and it wasn't at all what they had, dreamt about. So I thought I should do something about it, and became a childbirth educator and a doula, and found out about this hypnobirthing thing, and just really changed my whole career, really, to all supporting women in birth and their families.
Do you still practice as a chiropractor?
I do.
Okay, great.
I do, and mostly it's caring for pregnant women.
Right. And now, so even with your amazing home birth experiences, you didn't know about hypnobirthing then. Is that right?
No, I didn't. I kind of stumbled upon it by accident. Well, not really, if nothing,
Right.
but I had a conversation with a friend who was a psychologist about, supporting women in birth, and he said, "Have you ever thought about hypnosis for helping women?" And I said, "No, not really. I didn't really know too much about it." But it caught my interest, and that night I went home and started Googling, and I was surprised to find that there was something called hypnobirthing. And as fate would have it, there was a training the very next day in my town, which is really rare. And I tracked down the instructor and asked if I could come, and without really knowing much about it, went and listened. And I thought, wow, this sounds fabulous, but could it really be? It almost sounded too good to be true.
Yes.
But I tried it out with a couple of willing clients, and I was blown away by the results, and I've been doing it ever since.
Fantastic. Now, with talking with parents about hypnobirthing, the first thing that usually comes up to someone who's never heard of hypnobirthing is they immediately think it is hypnosis. Can you explain how it is similar to that possibly and different?
Well, sure. Well, there's a lot of misunderstanding about hypnosis in general. Sometimes when people think about hypnosis, it connotates images of a swinging watch or weird trance states, and it's really nothing like that. We use deep relaxation to help a woman focus on first maybe identifying any deeply held fears or limiting thoughts or emotions that she might have, so that she can release them and replace them with positivity and confidence. And then later in the birth, we use that same level of focus to help her connect with her birthing body and her baby and work together with what nature, has provided her to birth in a normal, beautiful kind of way.
And so, because that same thing of like the swinging watches or something, women will say like, so am I going to like cluck like a chicken during my birth rather than, have a relaxation experience like they see in those kind of stage shows of hypnosis. But, like I said, I'm a big fan of hypnobirthing. The work I'm doing now in pediatrics and pregnancy really came about because of my involvement in it. Effie and I took a hypnobirthing class getting ready for my son coming into the world. We did a home birth as well. And the course was really a fantastic thing for me as a partner, as well as for Effie, and having it just be a much more relaxing experience. Can you share with us how, maybe not necessarily how it works, but like what is available for a woman during a birthing experience different than really kind of the drama they see on TV or in the movies?
Yeah, well, hypnobirthing is really designed for a birth without drama. And, what we've learned is that when a woman prepares herself physically, mentally, even spiritually, if you'd like to think about it that way, that she can bring her baby into the world in an atmosphere of calm and peace and gentleness instead of, stress and chaos and trauma. And so it's a very well thought out program, which includes lots of education, general education about your body, but also deep relaxation exercises, breathing, visualization, positive affirmations, and what we call deepening, which are basically self-hypnosis techniques, which are really just deep relaxation techniques.
And there are ones that are really taught for you to do yourself. It's not that you need a hypnobirthing practitioner present at your birth, right?
That's correct. It's all self-hypnosis, yes.
And tell me more about the fear element of it, around, I guess I should say, the working directly with the fears to help them dispel it, and how important that is for the birth experience.
Well, I think, in our culture, most women from the time they're very young are taught that birth is, painful and terrible and stressful and all of those things that, the media tells us or our culture tells us. And, we're here to tell you that it doesn't have to be. And so couples will be working with some audio CDs, which are to condition this deep relaxation, positive affirmations, and something we call the rainbow relaxation, which is a really deep sort of meditative practice full of positivity and confidence building. And through the repetition of listening to those and practicing with those CDs, they're able to, when their labor begins, to work with their body instead of fighting their way through it. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful way to give birth.
Right, and really, one of the things I've been impressed with the hypnobirthing is really acknowledging the fear and bringing it to light so that you can work with it, so it doesn't show up either unconsciously or then consciously showing up in the birth and making the birth go a little sideways. And I think especially for the partner being involved in the classes and working with the relaxation techniques, it then allows the couple to work through those together, rather than it being just something that the mom's going to this class once a week and telling the partner at the end of the class what she learned.
Right, absolutely. One of the things I love about hypnobirthing is that it really does involve the partner, and so that they can birth together.
Yeah, one of the things I know that Effie and I got out of it was, you said so much about education, about how the birth is going to go, and kind of pre-paving the way for what the experience will be like. And it gave us, as a couple, a way of talking about a bunch of scenarios that might come up and kind of talking through how we would handle those so we could get on the same page, rather than being in the experience in that situation coming up and us not being on the same page and having that be a challenge in the moment, rather than kind of pre-paving and knowing how to go. And I think that's a really important part of the birth education that hypnobirthing offers.
I love it because it really is a full, comprehensive course that covers everything from not only deep relaxation techniques, but also, talking about birth preferences and options and how to communicate with your caregiver and how to choose the right caregiver so that you'll have the support you need to, get the type of birth that you desire.
When do you usually recommend a couple to start taking a hypnobirthing course? How early on is best?
This course can be taken anytime after the first trimester, really. We recommend that you do it earlier, not only because you'll have more time to practice the relaxation techniques, but it really puts you in the right mindset, that positive mindset for the remainder of your pregnancy. And I think that's important. Some methods people want to take right at the end so they don't forget, but this is something that you get better at with practice. So I think the sooner the better.
Okay, yeah, I can. There's a testimony, if you will, of a woman I'm working with right now. She came in for adjustment just yesterday, and she's going to have her baby any moment. It's right around her guest date now. And she was saying she went through the hypnobirthing class. She's been doing the rainbow meditations. She's been doing the affirmations. And one of the things she said is that the other morning she was, getting ready to go, and she was kind of behind on time. She was running a little late, and she had the rainbow relaxation playing in the background, the music as well as the things. And she noticed in that hustle and bustle that she was much more relaxed than she normally would have been. And she was really surprised by that. And I said, well, your nervous system is really cueing to the affirmations, to the music, to be in a more relaxed state because of the work you've done. Right. By ingraining this work and being in a relaxed state and working with it, that even though your conscious mind was elsewhere in trying to get ready to get to lunch on time, part of her system was relaxing. And I was telling her, that's exactly what we want for your birth experience, that if you are getting caught up with things and as you're moving through it, you have that as an anchor to really drop down and ground yourself and bring you back into that relaxed state, rather than allowing the moment or the outside circumstances to really kind of spin you into another direction that you don't want to go. Right.
And, this hypnobirthing, these skills are not just for birth. They can be lifetime skills. I mean, you can use these relaxation skills throughout your life, whether you're having a baby or not.
Right. I know that I got in trouble in my hypnobirthing class the first week in that, with the rainbow relaxation, we all get it. And I was listening to it every night as I was supposed to. And a week goes by and I was driving to the course with Effie and I said, I don't understand why they call it a rainbow relaxation. Like, what's that name there? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, rainbows and colors. She's like, it goes through all of the different colors and the parts of your body and the chakras there to have a relaxation. I'm like, I never even got to that part. I was falling asleep with the progressive relaxation beforehand. And it is just such a beautiful, relaxing recording that really just allows you to dive in deep. But I'm really glad I brought that up before we got into class, so I didn't raise my raise my hand and get into trouble about falling asleep too soon.
Yeah, so many people find it relaxing. Even partners are often really enjoying using it as well.
And as a doula, you've been present in a lot of births, and your hypnobirthing students, how do you recommend as they're women starting to labor to use those techniques?
Well, every birth is different and every woman is different. But one of the things that I think is so helpful is that when labor begins, women just relax and enjoy those early, phases of their labor with their partners and just, do something that they enjoy together, just be together as a couple before they become a family or extend their family. And so oftentimes they may just go for a walk or watch a movie, or when things are starting to, ramp up, they can put on their rainbow relaxation CDs and just chill out and wait for labor to kind of get into gear.
And then once they're either in their birthplace, if it is at home, they're already there. If they're headed to the birth center or headed to the hospital, what do you recommend in that setting if it is away from the home to be able to use those hypnobirthing techniques?
Yeah, there are a variety of techniques, but I think one of the most challenging times for a woman is when she leaves her home and makes that transition to maybe the hospital, where there are a lot of strangers and procedures and questions and so forth. So a lot of times women will take their CDs with them and kind of listen to them on earbuds during that admission process so that they can maintain their calm. And then they use other techniques like breathing and visualization, and their partners may help them with comfort measures, massage techniques. There's just so much in this course.
Very nice. Well, and I want to switch gears a little bit because you are the vice president of HypnoBirthing International and very involved with helping spread this word across the country and really across the world, obviously. And you have the HypnoBirthing International Conclave coming up here in San Diego. At the time of this recording, it's next month. It's going to be at the end of October. Tell us a little bit more about what that conclave is all about.
Oh, sure. We're so excited to come to San Diego and see your city. We have a yearly conference where we have speakers come in and talk about, birth-related topics. This conference is designed for anyone with an interest in beautiful birth. So if you're a nurse, a doula, a chiropractor, a physician, or just, a parent who's interested in learning more, please come on out and join us. There are all sorts of speakers and workshops. If you've ever wanted to teach hypnobirthing, before the conference, we offer the hypnobirthing practitioner training or childbirth educators training. You can come and make hypnobirthing a part of your career. We also have some other interesting trainings. We have a doula training, professional doula training. We have infant massage and a hypnofertility class if you're a birth professional and would like to expand your career to include something like that. We'd love to have you. And it's just a wonderful time to get together with others who are passionate about gentle, normal birth and share ideas. And we have we laugh a lot and we learn a lot, and it's really a wonderful time. So please come and join us. If you'd like to learn more about it, go to our website, which is HypnoBirthing.com, where you can find more about the conference and register.
Great. Yeah. And I'll make sure that I have those links available. One, they'll be in the show notes, as well as the webpage that we'll devote to this episode. And all the information about the conclave will be at hypnobirthing.com. The dates, it looks like the trainings that you have the week before the weekend conclave is October 18th through the October 21st. Those are the different trainings that Dr. Vivian just talked about. And then the conclave in earnest starts that Friday night. Is that right? On the 22nd?
Actually, I believe it's the October 21st through the 23rd. And we have...
Okay.
Yeah, we have some sessions earlier on Friday this year. We've expanded, and I hear we have some really great speakers, Dr. J. I hear you're going to be speaking. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm excited to be a part of it. I thank you for inviting me. And again, as I said, kind of starting as a hypnobirthing dad, and then moving into working so closely with pregnant women and the birth center, or the birth classes here, and bringing babies into the world. I'm happy to give back in that way. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we look forward to having you.
Oh, thank you. So as far as the HypnoBirthing website, is that the best place for people to also contact you if they're interested in learning about not just the conclave, but other elements of hypnobirthing?
Sure. There you can find information about the course. If you're looking for an instructor or a class, you can also find it there. There's a section for parents. And then if you're a professional looking to learn more about hypnobirthing, you can find our training classes listed there as well.
Great. And I can see on the website, in that for parents section, finding a hypnobirthing class, there's listings all over the world. Our listeners here in iTunes are really all over the world as well, not just San Diego and throughout the U.S., but classes in Africa and Asia, Australia, all over. So if you find this interesting, and I highly recommend hypnobirthing to every parent as a technique to really just have a beautiful birth experience, I definitely highly recommend you checking things out, getting involved, hopefully taking a class, and just having a really peaceful, beautiful experience rather than what a lot of people fear going into being birthed.
It's so true.
So in the last couple questions I like to ask are one for the mamas and one for the babies. What for the mamas listening, or the birth partner as well, what's the major take home that you'd like to leave them with, either based on what we talked about today, or maybe even something different that we didn't touch on?
Well, I think what I want women to think about, and their partners, is that there's more to giving birth than just the physical act of getting the baby out, that there's a emotional and spiritual aspect that far outweighs the physical. And it's that connection that we want you to feel with your baby and with your partner to experience, this joyful birth. And birth should really be your greatest achievement, not your biggest fear. So, checking out hypnobirthing as a way, it would give you the tools to, create something really spectacular, a beautiful, gentle, calm birth.
Beautiful. And what about for the baby that might be listening? If it's a pregnant mom, baby might be listening in utero, or maybe they're on mama's belly listening right now. What's a little pearl of wisdom or a little message you'd like to whisper into their little ear?
You are loved.
Nice. They are, and that's why we, as practitioners, are doing all of this work to help them come into the world that much better. That's why, moms and dads are doing so much during their pregnancy, just so their first experience coming into the world is really just a powerful one. So, Dr. Vivian, thank you for sharing your time and your expertise. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Thank you, Dr. J. I look forward to meeting you in San Diego.
Yeah, I'll see you next month.
Thank you for joining us today. For more information about this episode and other natural childbirth and parenting topics, please visit us at capwellnesscenter.com or message us on our Facebook page with any questions you might have. We here at the CAP Wellness Center look forward to helping you and your family be as happy and healthy as you can be.